I have a fantastic panel, 6 people. I think I know all of them, except one I just met. But I'll start with the one I know the most, I've known the longest, which is His Excellency Taddese Haile, who's the State Minister of Industry. I have to say, not only is he a good friend, but he's a very good friend of the private sector. He's a big promoter of investments in Ethiopia, both from the foreign direct investment perspective, but also, most importantly, encouraging the Ethiopian private sector.
My role will be here to give you overall perspective of this industry, and also to give you where we are today and what is our vision, and what are the motivations to do business in Ethiopia. So I will give you a general overview of the Ethiopian textile and apparel industry. Of course, why did we choose textiles and apparel as a priority? Textiles and apparel industry is a priority industry according to our industrial development strategy. Priority because it is expected or envisaged to bring about accelerated industrialization in Ethiopia. And at the same time, we have also envisaged textile as a leading, among others, leading subsector to bring about structural transformation into our economy. So why we choose textiles priority? Because we have a comparative advantage over it. Say a few words about our vision, the vision of our industrial. We have a vision actually, national vision is to reach middle income economy by 2025. But we have also a vision for the sector is to see Ethiopia as one of the global major hubs of manufacturing and trading of textile and apparel globally. So to be part of the global network in the textiles and apparel. As it was mentioned, I will come back into that, why and how we wanted to reach this. So then why? Why is this a priority? A priority because we have a comparative advantage. It is also labor-based, where we have abundant labor resource. As you know, Ethiopia with a population of nearly 100 million, and the structure of our population, that 70% of the population is young, second populous country in Africa, is really, and where we are also focusing heavily on human resource development. So this makes textile a reason for, and there is also another reason, because we have a raw material base locally produced. We have the agroecology favorable for the production of quality cotton. Having said this, I would like to say a few words on the status. Where are we? We have some 150 textile medium and large factories, of which about 65 are foreign owned. And gross value of production, to give you a picture, today we have, is generating something like 690 or 700 million US dollar. In terms of export, currently has reached around, little above 100 million. Actually, we are envisaging even 1 billion from Hawassa Industrial Park, but this is where we are today. But the export, because of, we started from a low base and has been growing for the last 5 years. Employment generation, currently it employs around 40,000 people, 40,000 employees. So now I will say a few words on the GTP2, our plan. Plan is to reach gross value of production 2.18 billion US This is 3 times that we have, that of what we have today. And also export, of course, we have underestimated it, but our export target is 1 billion over the GDP2, which covers from 2015 to 2020. So it will be 10 times. It will be increased by 10 times. Of course, we have, we have been very conservative in the estimate, but you will see what will happen. Employment will grow to 200,000. Having said this, giving you this picture, and I would like to say a few words also on the enabling and conducive environment we have already put in place. First of all, as I said, this is a priority sector. For all the priority sectors that we have identified, we have also support institutions. So we have a support institution deliberately organized to support the textile industry. This is Ethiopian Textile Industry Development Institute. The whole objective is to provide training, provide consultancy, and also to conduct testing services to the industry by establishing accredited laboratories, and of course, to carry out also research and development for the industry. Of course, this is a newly established organization, but speed up the capacity. We have also twinned these institutes with globally recognized institutions. For example, the textile industry is twinned with several institutions like ICT of India, NIFT, IIT, and KIT of Korean Institute of Technology, and many other institutes have been twinned to support and to capacitate the institute, and also to reach global benchmarks. Of course, the institute is giving several support to the industry to improve quality and productivity. As you know, Ethiopia is heavily focusing on human resource development. Current information, we have increased our universities from 2 to the current around 35 universities, big universities with several colleges. The whole, according to the policy, we give, the students are enrolled, are focusing on science. 70% of the enrollment is in science and engineering. We have the institute of course, with specific to textiles. Specific to textiles, we have several universities also focusing on textile engineering. There is also one specific institute called the Institute of Fashion, Design and Textile Technology, which is in Bahar Dar, providing courses on textile engineering and designs and so on. We have also 5 other universities like Kombolcha, Aksum, Dredwa, Wolkite, Hawassa, who are also providing courses. You see, when we are thinking of transformation, the focus on human resource is found to be very important. Otherwise, we cannot realize this goal. So, in addition to the university education, we have also more than 1,300 TVETs, technical and vocational education trainings, and some of them are delineated to provide textile and garment. Then why did we invest in textiles? Why invest in textiles in Ethiopia and apparel? Because, as I have mentioned, we have put in place all the conducive environment to support, supportive environment, and we have also comparative advantage. Labor availability, skilled labor, as I mentioned, we are heavily emphasizing on skilled labor. Competitive wage and salary is also another area, whereby we have engineers of all sorts, chemical engineers, chemists, mechanical engineers, and industrial engineers are being, electrical engineers, all sorts of engineers are being graduated, and we are, as I said, 70% of the total university education goes to providing training on courses on engineering, science, and so on. Currently, we have around 500, more than 500, 750 actually, students enrolled in all the universities. The other thing to consider is that Ethiopia is, focusing on power, and we have a very, our power supply. We are heavily investing in power, and we have, increased our power supply, and we will continue to do so. And then currently the power cost is very low. It's the lowest maybe globally, whereas in our neighbors, we charge around 4 to 5 cents, US cents per kilowatt hour, whereas in neighboring countries or elsewhere, it is more than 24 cents per kilowatt hour. We are focusing on infrastructure development. The railway that was inaugurated yesterday is a clear indication. The railway line that links Port of Djibouti to Addis which was inaugurated and became operational yesterday, is a clear manifestation of the commitment of the government to develop infrastructure. We have attractive investment incentives. I don't want to go into the details. Maybe the investment commissioner might have explained this. But in addition to the various incentives that we have also export incentive schemes. Several schemes like to facilitate and to make export competitive. We have the export incentive schemes like voucher system, bonded warehouse, even factory bonded warehouse. We have preferential trade agreements with several countries like AGOA, where you can export duty-free, quota-free to Europe, to the US, EBA to Europe. We are also signatory to GSP, generalized system of preference that will allow us to export to the developed economies like Korea, Japan, duty-free and quota-free. And even we are exporting to China on some items, duty-free, quota-free. We are very strategically close to all countries, as it was mentioned by the general manager of this slaughtering meat, Alana, where Ethiopia is strategically located and is very close to Europe, US, and Asia. The presence of global buyers is also a very important condition, whereby we have H&M present, PVH, Vanity Fair, Chibo of Germany, Decathlon of France, and many others. Buyers have located their offices here in Ethiopia to encourage production and market. Maybe I might now wind up my presentation by mentioning the strategy we have on industrial park development. Ethiopia, in order to accelerate industrialization and also create competitive environment whereby industries could be located and the cost of doing business could be also lowered, we are now putting this industrial park strategy as a major strategy to accelerate industrialization. We have already operationalized Bolelemi. Hawassa Industrial Park, as it was mentioned earlier, is one of the magnificent industrial parks globally. It is eco-industrial park, by the way. We have learned from the practice of, of other countries, and have been able to establish eco-industrial park where it is zero discharge. And it is socially, environmentally compliant. Therefore, it is a very compatible investment and has attracted globally known investors. And accordingly, Hawassa Park is going to employ around 40,000 employees with one shift, and has attracted also globally known investors, including buyers like PVH, in particular to Hawassa Park. So we are also planning to construct similar parks in different parts of the country, and there are several industrial parks under construction. The Mekele Industrial Park, Kombolcha, Adama, Dredoa, Arerti, these are all have started construction. We have earmarked budget and have started construction in those 5 parks and are going to be operational around April this year, in 9 months. By the way, Hawassa Industrial Park was completed in 9 months. You can see how such a big construction is being implemented. So we'll continue to build. Also, there are others on the pipeline. Then through this, we are planning to encourage investments and achieve all the development goals that we have put in place, and also to restructure our economy. And most of you are most welcome to join some of these industrial parks which are under construction. I thank you.